Hello everyone, and welcome to another installment of Erin's Book Club. I have another book to read. I actually finished reading it last night just before I went to bed, or maybe early this morning. I don't remember. But it was one that I had to let sit and kind of gel for a bit before I went and did this book club, because I don't know my thoughts about this book, and I still don't know my thoughts about this book. So the book review that I'm going to do today is by James Patterson and Michael Ledwidge, called Zoo. You guys can see the title there. Now, I know there's a CIBC, that, I'm tired, can you tell? A CBC, like, television event in a series about this. And the premise I really liked. I'm just not entirely sure that the way the story was told was what I liked. So basically it is, like, before I get into this though, I need to tell you that this will not be spoiler free. So if you have not read this book, turn off the video, go read the book, and then come back and watch the video. So I don't know, let me read the back and give you an idea of what this book is about. All over the world, brutal attacks are crippling entire cities. Jackson Oz, a young biologist, watches the escalating events with an increased sense of dread. When he witnesses a coordinated lion ambush in Africa, the enormity of the violence to come becomes terrifyingly clear. Now, with the help of ecologist Chloe Tozungnit, I don't know how to say that, Oz must race to warn the world leaders before it's too late. But the attacks are growing in ferocity, cunning, and planning, and soon there will be no place left for humans to hide. The premise is amazing, and there's points about this book that are really well done, because the way that he says that it is a pheromone that is setting off the animals and mutating our brains in order for the two pheromones to interact and us fighting each other, really, really well done. The way that he can slip into the animal's point of view and write based on that, excellent, well done. The way that the happy ending we thought happened, like the go-lucky happy ending that I'm always struggling against, whereas like the tone of the book is really real and then all of a sudden it's a happy ending, that was thrown on its edge when it then said, okay, but the human race is the human race, and even though this is the solution, the human race feels that they are above the rules, and therefore they defeat their own selves by not abiding to a solution that involves sacrificing of comfort. That, I think, was spot on. I think that would be exactly the way the world would survive, or not. I think if there was this great pandemic, or again, a disease with the animals, if we said to the world, okay, we can stop all this death and gore and blood, but it means that you have to live without all of your creature comforts, like your cell phones, your electricity, petroleum, so like you can't drive cars, you can't go anywhere, other than with like 2 feet and a heartbeat kind of thing. I think that the world would let itself die, because I think that we're so selfish and so dependent on our own comforts that we wouldn't know how to survive without them. So the way he did that was wonderful, was absolutely wonderful. In fact, the entire story I do think was well done. I'm a little bit concerned about how gung-ho Mr. Patterson is about writing about sex, but I don't know if that was, he was trying to draw the reader in, but sex was like in the first chapter almost. Speaking of chapters, one thing I like about Mr. Patterson is that the chapters, I think the longest chapter was 3 pages long. So you're thinking, oh wow, we're running through this book, when in reality you're reading like 3 pages at a time. It makes it easy to put the book down and get started on something else and then come back too, which helps. So that I think was done really well by Mr. Patterson. Now, there's a reason why I say Mr. Patterson with this novel. Notice how the novel says it's James Patterson and then Michael Ledwidge, or whoever. I can't pronounce that last name, and I'm really sorry. But that is definitely on the bottom, right? Yeah, they're the same font size, but it's definitely on the bottom. And then the front of the book like the front 2 pages, the front 2 pages are full of James Patterson is amazing, James Patterson is wonderful, isn't James Patterson the best thing ever? Like, I get you want to, like, market your book and market you as an author, but do you need to cover 2 full pages of about how wonderful you are? And then something else that kind of irked me a little bit was, how do I find it? There's, like, at the end, there's about the authors. There's a preview here. I don't do the preview, like reading the preview, because then I want to buy the book. So, before the preview, though, there is, like, this is ridiculous. Okay, so there's a section about the authors. You see that? And the first author, of course, is James Patterson. And it's this page, plus this page. And then the second author is 4 lines. 3.5 lines about this author. Not only that, we have the big long James Patterson, and then on the back of it is a thing about how wonderful James Patterson is in his bio. Now, I'm sure James Patterson is a wonderful fellow. I don't know him well enough to know one way or the other. But the way he monopolized this book about how wonderful he is, and okay, yeah, this other author was here, but not as amazing as I am. I don't know, it kind of made me sit kind of funny on it. Like, the book was really well done, and I've only ever read one more of James Patterson's books, and I enjoyed James Patterson's book, the one more that I read. But again, it was the same theme. It was all about how wonderful he was. It was interesting that even though there was another author in the book, he got very little spotlight. It was all about James. So, I don't know how much this other author actually contributed to the book, but James wants us all to know it was him, and he was amazing. And I'm sure he is amazing. But, like, you can tone it down a little bit. You really can. I mean, there's enough books there. I think I've even got, like, 5 or 6 of his books. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of his books. I don't know. It just kind of sat funny. I think people need to be a little bit more supportive of each other and not necessarily wanting to hog the limelight. And that, again, just me. But I'm getting off topic. The topic is the book. The book is wonderful. The book was well written. The book was very quick to read. And yeah, I'm going to read more of James Patterson's stuff. Not because I had 3 pages of telling me how wonderful his book is. But, hey, Ishy. Sorry, that's my cat. But yeah, for my own good, I'm going to read about James Patterson. I don't know. All in all, really good book. You guys should try it. I might actually watch the series, but I'm kind of worried about if the series is going to be as good as the book. Does that, like, translate into the movies? Like, you know how movies are never as good as the book? I don't know if the series are going to be as good as the book. So, I guess Ishy is telling me I am done my review, and it is now time to cuddle Ishy. So I will let you guys know when I have another book read.